one of the things we definitely want to talk about is kind of the state of the industry right now, and kind of the state of the label. Chuck was up here and he kind of touched on a few things, but to you guys, to this panel up here, what does it mean to be an independent label, first of all, and then what are the advantages of being independent? Being an independent label.
Being an independent label, and me and him, we go tennis on this a lot. One of the main focuses of being on an independent label is learning how to work math and learning how to spend wisely. That's actually one of the most important keys to making or breaking you as an independent. You have $5,000, you spend it wisely, you can make $20,000. You can spend $5,000 and be broke tomorrow. So that's really knowing how to survive. Duckdown has survived from 1992 to now because we know how to work our craft, and that craft is to be smart with knowing when to spend the money, how to spend the money, and so forth. So
being independent is more than just having a T-shirt with your logo on it. It's more than just having stationery with your logo on it. It's actually running your business, and you have to know the business first to become independent. So, it's important to get as much information as you can about the record business and about what you're doing. Of course, if you don't have a record label, everyone raises their hand and says they're independent. That's what you are. If you're not signed to a major, you are independent. So for us, the difference is that we operate our business as a record company with marketing, promotions, actually making the records, and then finding distribution for the records. Buck has a line on the Chemistry album produced by Ninth Wonder where he says if you're not selling records in the stores, it's just a hobby. And that's what it is to a lot of people. If you're not, trying to get them into the stores and have them have an outlet for the records where people can buy them, and digitally as well.
Exactly, and that's one big thing that when it comes to the independent market, we as Duckdown, we have more of an advantage of actually getting more to the people, getting out to the actual customers, taking advantage of our fan base, maximizing the commodity of Duckdown, maximizing the value of what we created. Most people don't do that. I mean, a lot of people put in work and they kind of spread themselves thin because as they put in work, they don't really reap the benefits. And, being an independent label versus being a major, you have the advantage of coming out whenever you want, as opposed to a major. If you sign to them, you're under their ruling. You may not come out this year, you may, or you whatever. Right. But as an independent, we control when we come out and where we come out. So that's one of the advantages, again, of being an independent label and having control over your own destiny.
Yeah, and then with an independent, too, you can make sure that your music, which is the base foundation of it all, is the music. You make sure the music is right and exact, and then you could just go and the music will speak for itself. Like, if it's what it is, then it's going to do it. You know what I mean? Regardless, like, whatever you put into it, if it's that thing that's on that vinyl or that CD, it's going to do it. So, that's one of the advantages, too. You don't have, like, some stiff suit, you know what I'm saying? Like, just sitting there telling you, dude, this is not, and all of that. Like, you could be like how Duckdown is, like, where it's like basically like a hood-based kind of thing, where it's like the fellas is in there like, yo, that's that right there, that's banging right there, that's ill, let's run with that. So that's definitely one of the advantages to, being independent, is you could make sure the music is right, because, the struggle with dealing with these corporations that don't know what the music is about and all of that, that's a crazy struggle. So when you independent and you could just like, yo, this is that thing, that's freedom. That's the best thing on earth when you making music. Believe that.
Yeah, like with the independent, like you definitely have more creative control over what you do, for the most part. As opposed to with major record labels, they're pretty much like, it seems to me nowadays that they're looking more for like whatever's hot at the time. If you ain't doing this, or lean with it, pop with it, or whatever they're doing, like they ain't really trying to like hear you, because they like, it seems like not the new generation right now of A&Rs and stuff like that, for the most part, they like they're really just like in fear of losing their job, so they're gonna go with the safest bet or what they think is the safest bet. They're not gonna risk trying to sign something fresh and new, or even something that just blatantly sounds
Traditional.
dope. Yeah, it's traditional and dope, and just like real, like, and I don't want to say real music, but it sounds good. But if they don't have the 808 and then claps in it and stuff like that, they're just like, man, I don't know. Come back when you sound like Young Jock or something like that. So, it's just like and also with the independent, it's like, you retain more of your own product as far as like the splits and stuff like that. When you sign to a major record deal, you only retain, for the most part, to my knowledge, like about 18% of.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, if you're lucky, you know what I'm saying? You retain like 18%, but with the independent, if you're putting it out strictly yourself or whatever, that's 100%. Or whoever you got to break off, your peoples or whatever, or distribution companies and stuff. Or you can negotiate way better deals than 18%, because 18% is crap.
I think there's levels of independence, because being in the business I'm in, we do distribution, and I have a label, and I have stores. So most people will call themselves independent, but if you're dependent on someone to sell your stuff, then you're so independent. Now, if you're not signed to a major, you might be going through a Caroline or a Koch or a Red, which is not a major, but they're not. So you'll call yourself independent, but you're really dependent of them. So as you got to know the level of independence. The more independent you are, the more money you're going to make. The more that you sell direct to people, stores. We're signing artists now, and I'm looking at these deals, and I'll tell an artist, look, go get your CDs, go stand on Jamaica Ave or up on Fordham Road in the Bronx. Sell your CDs. You'll make way more money that way. But what happens is you become dependent. Now the industry, we got to figure out how to sell your stuff. When you guys go to Best Buy and Tower and all these stores, you see like Buckshot's records in there and Large Pro's records in there. Those records aren't in there because those stores like these guys. Those records are in there because their label or them paid that store money to take those CDs in that store. And when you hear the records on the radio and you hear shouting out, blah, 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 man, you know how hard it is to get a record on the radio? You got to do all kinds of things to get these DJs to play your records. The keep it real DJs, the real dope hip-hop DJs that are, that's what the industry is. So you're always dependent. So you got to realize what level of independent you want to work, and the hardest working artists make the most money.
I just want to add to that, like, and that's all granted if you have hot, basically, because like
the foundation of it all is the music.
You
That's
really
the
gotta
base
have
foundation.
some. You really gotta have some really good music. Yeah, you can't just be like, oh, I'm about to go buy an MPC 2000. I wrote this rhyme yesterday, and I just started writing rhymes last week. Or I'm gonna get my little sister to sing this hook, and then buy my CD. Nah, you can't. It gotta be like some really good music.